Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of the Wasatch Gear Review. I'm Corbin. Hope you're all doing well. Today I thought we'd go over to the Sea to Summit Ultra-Sil dry bag, and also we will be going over the REI waterproof lightweight dry bag or dry sack. We'll start. There's a bit of information, measurements with all the different liter size bags and all that, so I wrote it all down here so I don't get anything wrong for you guys. We are going to start with the Sea to Summit Ultra-Sil 4 liter. That's what I have here in my hand. I do have it doubled over. Let me come a little closer to you guys so we can get acquainted. There is the dry sack. Flies are gonna bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. So there it is. Sea to Summit 4 liter. I don't know if you can see that. Ultra-Sil. So this is siliconized on the outside of the bag. It is made out of what Sea to Summit calls a Cordura nylon, which to me, guys, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can. It looks to me like a fine, very fine ripstop nylon. They call their ripstop nylon Cordura nylon. On the inside of this bag, it does have a polyurethane coating, which allows the fabric to be seam taped. Which here, I don't know if you guys can see that shiny piece here on the seam. That's the seam tape. This is seam taped at the factory. So they, Sea to Summit does a very good job on their all their seams. In fact, all the waterproof seams are double stitched, and of course, like I just said, factory taped at Sea to Summit. So you do, they did do a really good job on the stitching. I don't know if this is from use. I do have some stitching sticking out here. I didn't take a good enough look to see if they had left their stitching this way, or if maybe in the course of me using it it's pulled out, so I couldn't really tell you on that. Next time on the sacks that I buy, I'll make sure to really look at the stitching well. But all in all, the stitching is very high quality. This is a roll top bag. Now this is, any roll top bag like this is not, it can't be submerged in water. While they are pretty much airtight and waterproof, they don't want you to completely submerge the roll top. And what I mean by roll top is to close this. There's the opening. They want you to mate these two together. 1, 2, 3. At least 3 rolls, and then you clip the buckle. And as you guys can see, it is holding air, like any good dry sack should do. You shouldn't be able to squeeze really any air out of these, or very little. I've used this dry sack now for, going on 8 or 9 months. There's no holes in it, obviously. I don't know if you guys can tell, it's pretty dirty. I have used this out in the backcountry many times. It's kept all of my stuff bone dry. One thing they do recommend, and I also recommend, is if you're going to put any electronics into one of these bags, cell phone, batteries, a digital camera, digital video camera, anything like that, you do want to double bag them. And they do say that on their website. at Sea to Summit, just for that extra precaution, you know. Really, guys, there's only one downside to this bag, and it's just a nitpick, really. It's nothing major. It has nothing to do with the quality of the bag. If any of you guys follow the channel, you guys should know that I'm a fan of Sea to Summit gear. But I do wish that they would put a D-ring on one of the ends of the clips. That way, once you roll it with your stuff in it and you clip it, you could have a D-ring right here. So if you didn't want to put it in your backpack and you wanted to clip it to the exterior of your backpack, or maybe even something that you want to get at while you're hiking, you could clip it to your pants. No D-ring available on it. So that is one nitpick. Nothing major, but that is one nitpick that I have about the bag. I wish that they'd put some D-rings. Maybe in the future, on their Ultra-Sil line, they will start putting D-rings. So now that you guys have seen the dry sack, let me get into the specs on it. So guys, here we go. This sack, the Ultra-Sil Sea to Summit, comes in a 2-liter, a 4-liter, which is what I just showed you guys, an 8-liter, a 13-liter, a 20-liter, and a 35-liter. The cubic inches on the 2-liter is 122 cubic inches. The 4-liter is 244 cubic inches. The 8-liter is 488 cubic inches. 13-liter is 793 cubic inches. 20-liter is 1,220 cubic inches. And the 35-liter is 2,135 cubic inches. Now I'll give you guys the dimensions in inches and the weight of each sack. So your 2-liter is 8 inches around by 9 inches long. Your 4-liter is 9 inches around by 15 inches long. Your 8-liter is 6.5, so 6.5 inches around, by 18 inches long. 13-liter is 8.5 inches long, or around, by 21 inches long. Your 20-liter is 10 inches around by 24 inches long, and your 35-liter is 12 inches around by 27 inches long. Weight, again, we'll start at the 2-liter. 0.8 ounces for the 2-liter. It's not even 1 ounce. The 4-liter, which is the bag I am reviewing today, is 0.9 ounces, so 0.1 under an ounce. The 8-liter is 1.1 ounces. 13-liter is 1.4. 20-liter is 1.8 ounces, and the 35-liter is 2.2 ounces. So even the bigger ones don't weigh hardly a thing, which is a wonderful thing for a backpacker, especially you folks that like to really count the ounces or the grams. So that is basically everything on that sack. Let me throw in the cost for them real quick for you guys, just so you have an idea. 2 liters $13.95, 4 liters $15.95, 8 liters $18.95, 13 liters $21.95, 20 liters $24.95, and the 35 liter is $32.95. When we come back, I will be reviewing the REI waterproof lightweight dry sack, and that is my bigger version that I like to use for my bear bag and a couple other things that I can show you guys coming up next. Alright guys, here is the REI version of their waterproof lightweight dry sack. This one here, guys, is quite the large waterproof dry sack. This is the 25 liter, which is the biggest. Let me make sure that I'm correct on that. Yes. The biggest out of the 4 dry sacks that REI sells. REI sells only 4 different sizes of dry sacks. I got the huge one. For one, I like to have enough room if my pops ends up going for an overnight adventure with me, or if a friend ends up going, then I have got, ample, my whole arm, guys. And I'm a tall, lengthy, skinny guy. My whole arm up to my neck fits into this bag, completely stretched out. And it's, big around here. I haven't gotten into any dimensions yet, but since we're talking about it, let's go right on into it. For the 25 liter, it's 1,525 cubic inches of gear space. It is 10 inches around by 25 inches long, and this weighs 3.6 ounces. So it's a little heavier than some dry sacks that you can get out there. I think Outdoor Research sells one that's quite a bit lighter than this, but for the price, this is a very nice dry sack. Now I use this for multiple things, and I like gear that's multifunctional when I'm backpacking. So I like to use this for a couple different things while I'm out on the trail, and I like to try to find gear that is multifaceted like that I could use for a bunch of different purposes. So what I'm trying to get at with that and this sack is, one way I'll use this sack is if I know it's going to be rainy, moist, inclement weather. I carry a 75 plus 10, so I carry an 85 liter pack. A lot of the times in the winter, because I'm carrying a lot of extra gear to keep warm, of course. And I will take this and slide this whole sack down into the main compartment of my backpack, and then all of my clothing, electronics, stuff that I don't want to get wet, I'm going to put down in there, and then I'm going to roll this sack up inside of my backpack. And as you guys can see, when I get done snapping this here, that's all full of air. Can't squeeze air out of this. That is how a dry sack should be. Absolutely. But as you can see, that would fit perfectly right down inside of most backpacks, and you can put all your gear in it, and all your gear is going to be waterproof. Awesomeness. So guys, let me touch briefly on the prices for the 4 that REI sell. The 5 liter is $14.50, 10 liter is $16.50, 15 liter is $19.50, and the 25 liter, which I was reviewing today, is $21.50. In my opinion, folks, that's a great price for the sack and quality that you're getting with REI. Sea to Summit's a little bit more expensive than that, but only by a few dollars. I'm a big fan of Sea to Summit, so I don't mind paying a little extra money also for their equipment and their dry sacks. So both of these are very comparable in quality, in price, no matter what liter you're looking at, guys. So there you have that. Again, guys, this is available in 4 sizes from REI. It is made out of waterproof ripstop nylon. It has welded seams and a roll buckle closure, just like the Sea to Summit. Of course, the lid again must be closed on these correctly for it to keep water out, which is rolled 3 times and then buckled over. Again, REI recommends that any kind of electronics you double bag, just for the extra protection. Polyurethane coated ripstop nylon on the inside. It is seam coated. They do not say it's double stitched. It does not look double stitched. It is not double stitched like the Sea to Summits. It is just a single stitching, but the stitching is really good quality. And of course, my one complaint about the Sea to Summit bag, REI does it on all 4 of theirs, a nice D-ring. So let me get back to the multi-facet of this bag. So that's one way I'll use it, if there's moisture, if it's raining out. Then when I get to camp and I get my tent set up, I will take all the stuff out of here, all the gear I have out of here, and store it into my tent where it's not going to get wet. And then this is going to double for my bear bag. And what I'm going to do is, before I go to bed, I'm going to stuff all of my food, snacks, toothpaste, lip chapsticks, anything that smells good to a bear or a raccoon or a badger or field mice. I'm going to put into here, and this is now going to become my bear bag. It does have the D-ring, so I'll just take a carabiner with some 550 cordage, clip it to this, throw the cordage up over a branch, and I'm now able to lift this up by the D-ring up into the tree, so it'll double for my waterproof bear bag. Guys, this does work great for a bear bag. If you're solo, if you do a lot of solo and you don't have people to go with you, I would say you could probably go down to the 10 liter and you'd be just fine. Now, I don't know how much gear you'd fit into that if you want to keep it dry on a rainy day. So I opted for the bigger one just so I have more capacity. Guys, that's it on the REI waterproof lightweight dry sack. Also, that's it on the Sea to Summit Ultra-Sil 4-liter dry sack. Guys, if you do any rainy weather hiking or backpacking or camping, these are a must-have on your gear essentials. So, again, guys, I'm Corbin with the Wasatch Gear Review. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. Be safe and adventure on, guys.